Hey guys, and welcome back to another indie game review and playthrough. Today's game is from Magic Design Studios, and it's called Unruly Heroes. Let's kick off by watching the intro together, and then I'll jump into some of my thoughts on the game as I try to get through the first level. Please remember to hit that like button if you enjoy these vids. It'll really help our little channel to grow. So without further ado, let's get into the intro.
Since the dawn of time, the sacred parchment has maintained the balance between worlds. Throughout the ages, dark forces conspired to undo that order. Eventually, they prevailed. Like comets hurled down from the heavens, fragments of the parchment were scattered across the land. And in their wake, fair became foul, virtue turned to vice. Now wretched creatures roam the land, wreaking havoc and leaving chaos in their wake. Only 4 truly unruly heroes can turn back that dark tide and restore order to heaven and earth. Well, at least I'll give it a shot.
Okay, so we're going to kick off with the first level, which is called the Frozen Wastes. And we're going to start off by talking about the art style of the game before we get into the development and the actual gameplay. So Unruly Heroes is a 2D platform game, obviously, but I want to call it 2.5D just because the art style gives it so much depth at different parts. The art's also all hand-drawn, and if you played a lot of these kind of games, it might look familiar to you. And we'll jump into that right after this.
Heroes beware. Though your fates are written, the road ahead is perilous. To keep the world from endless night, you'll test your limits against fearsome foes. No pressure, though. You've got this. Now where was I? Danger, fearsome foes, eternal darkness... Right! Introductions. I am Guanyin Puza, goddess of mercy. I'll be watching over you and sending good vibes when the going gets tough. But enough about me. Let the journey to the west begin.
You might notice that some of the dialogue is quite corny, or at least I think it is, but I think that's okay, and it gives the game a certain kind of charm. So coming back to the art style, you may have seen something similar in other games from a certain larger non-indie studio, and that's because many of the team behind the game over at Magic Design Studios came from Ubisoft, where they spent time working on Rayman Legends. Now, I managed to get a free copy of Rayman Legends from Ubisoft some time back when they were giving the game away for free. I think it was over their anniversary period. And having played both that game and this game, I feel like I can safely say that this game is better from an artistic perspective. I just feel like it's taken the art style and the effects of Rayman Legends and taken them to another level, in my opinion. As you may have noticed from the opening scenes of this video, Unruly Heroes was built using the Unity game engine, and I love featuring and looking at games that are made with Unity because it's such a popular engine that so many of us are using to try and build our own indie games. All in all, this game released with 29 levels, and each one is set up as a different scene within Unity, and that apparently allowed multiple people to work on the game at the same time. From looking at the LinkedIn profile for Magic Design Studios, it looks like the France-based developer has around 18 employees at the moment, which as far as indie studios go, is a pretty good size. From watching me play so far, you'll see that I've been collecting coins that are scattered around the levels. Some of them are in some challenging places, and they have a bit of a dual purpose. So firstly, can you say that you've really completed a level until you've collected all of the coins? For each level that you complete, the game records how many of the coins you managed to get, whether or not you found the scrolls, and the time it took for you to get through the level, along with the target time. So these things are designed to give you some replayability on the levels and a bit of an extra challenge over and above the story to come back and do it all again.
Stop right there. See that lantern? Watch out for those along the way. They're, how do I put this? Really important. To light new lanterns, all you gotta do is harness the energy from vanquished foes. But if things don't exactly work out, your body and soul will reappear at the last one lit. I guess you could say they're like the light of your life.
The second purpose of the coins is to buy cosmetic skins for your heroes. And these start at 150 coins for the basic skin and move all the way up to 300 coins. So if you want to unlock all the skins, you're going to need to collect a whole lot of these coins. There don't appear to be any leaderboards, at least not in the PC version that I'm playing. And that's a bit of a shame, because I'd love to see how my level times stack up against other people's that are also playing, and it might provide a touch of extra motivation to come back and try and improve my level times.
Oh my, you gave me a fright. I didn't expect to encounter such handsome heroes. Skull Canyon is such a dreadfully dull place. But I know how to make it fun. In fact, it would be my pleasure. So come, friends, follow me.
I already mentioned that I find the dialogue so cheesy, but it grows on you after a while. One of the coolest features about the actual gameplay is the core mechanic where you're able to change or switch between the different heroes. And there are 4 of them in total, and they're all slightly different with different abilities, like double jumping versus gliding, and the ability to break walls and so on. And they each have their own ultimate abilities, like the one that you just saw there. And while there are puzzles in the game that require you to use a certain hero to solve them, the need to use a certain hero isn't that stringent, so you can really pick the hero that fits your own personal playstyle and use them for the majority of the game. That said, the difficulty of the game does ramp up as you progress through the levels, and understanding how to use the other heroes is handy, because when your favorite dies, you'll need to rely on using another hero to get them back, as I've just done there. So coming up as an example of the way that you have to use the different heroes at different times to progress through the levels. In this case, the monk is the only hero that can break through walls, and we have a few of those blocking our path here. There aren't too many of these instances, but you'll find at least one on each level, meaning that at some point you're going to have to use each hero to get through the game. I'm using an Xbox One controller to play the game, and the implementation is pretty slick. The game does a great job of teaching you how to play, and it does feel a lot like I'm playing on a console. We're going to skip ahead in time a little over here and head on over to the very first boss fight for this very first level of the game, so that you can get an idea of what these look like. There are a lot of really cool, unique boss encounters, and then there are some that feel a bit samey. Overall though, there are some really awesome fights and some pretty innovative mechanics that will really challenge you. They can definitely be more difficult than your average platform game boss fights, I think, so the game should provide you with many hours of challenge, at least on your first playthrough. Take a look at the subtle but distinct phases and abilities we go through on this boss fight. And with that, we're almost done with this level and with this video. However, there is time for one more little puzzle before the end screen, and of course a smattering of some more cheesy dialogue.
Remarkable. Most capable indeed. But I can't let you pass. A lady needs her privacy. But don't worry. We'll play again.
Dialogue aside, Unruly Heroes is a super fun game to play, and even though it is technically from an independent game studio, the experience that the team have brought gives it a really AAA kind of feel. It's so well polished and plays so smoothly that I really think it's an excellent example of what small teams can achieve, and what can be produced when using Unity. I hope that it provided you with a bit of inspiration for your own projects, and if you enjoyed watching this playthrough, be sure to check out the other games I've done the same thing for, and consider subscribing for more of this awesome content. Until next time, bye for now.